welcome back to Creating Adventures Together. This channel is about my husband and I going through the adventures of life, and we just recently purchased a home about 2 months ago. So we're now in the process of trying to pick up everything and get ready to paint. So the room we're starting with is a camera room. And we had to take out all the books that were in there because we were using it as an office. And we have a lot of books. Then we had to pick up the desk area, everything else on the ground, the printer, everything in the closet. And yes, our dog was helping us along the way. My husband tried to take apart the desk and realized, oh, there's screws in it. So he had to go get a screwdriver and then unscrew it. And the dog just watched while we did everything, and his little ears were listening. And getting the desk out was like playing Tetris. We should have probably taken it fully apart, but we didn't want to. We laid out a bag, so when we started working on taking off the crown molding, the baseboards, we wanted to make sure any debris would fall onto that rather than the floors. Now it didn't work perfectly, but it got some of it. Then we're also planning on taking the popcorn ceiling down. On molding and the baseboards, we used a hammer, one of those scraping tools, and then a crowbar. And most of that we found at the dollar store as well. And for taking the popcorn ceiling off, we sprayed it down with water, waited 15 minutes, and then took the scraper that we got from the dollar store, and it just scraped right off. But yes, it does make a huge mess down on the floor.
So you'll see here that we started with a corner piece, and with this I was kind of cutting into where I saw the seam being a 45-degree angle connecting together. What I actually found out is when I took off the end piece is that it was actually not cut at a 45-degree angle. It was just cut the length, put in the corner, and they somehow got the angle and painted it to look like it was at a 45-degree angle. So when I was cutting into the seam like is recommended on when you scorch it and you try to get that loose for paint, ended up actually cutting that.
And at some parts we did have to kick the dog outside so he wasn't inhaling any of it. But when we weren't doing all the scraping and stuff, he just sat there and watched us work.
Our goal is to use these baseboards we've been pulling off and the crown molding and trim the best we can when we're done with this. It does match our first floor baseboarding, but the color is different, so that's something we'll have to look into. We ended up breaking one, so that might put a damper on reusing it, but our first goal is to not throw it away. We don't want to be wasteful with that. Perfectly fine. The pieces that didn't break out anyway, so hopefully we'll be able to use that. You'll see that pile there. We just piled it up in the room, and we'll take it and put it in the garage and fix it, repaint it, sand it, whatever we have to do once we decide on that. But we think it's a good idea to try to keep it. Might cut down on some of the costs as long as everything matches, and we're not going to really do anything until we finish the whole upstairs.
There'll be more videos coming throughout the painting of the office series, and then we'll move on to other parts of the house that we'll have to prep and then paint. Thanks again for joining us on Creating Adventures Together. We enjoy all your likes, your comments, and subscriptions to our channel, and we love hearing your ideas. Thanks again, and have a great day, everyone.